XRP holders, you must be euphoric right now when you are hearing the headlines hitting the market, while at the same time you are probably confused as to why the price does not match the headline. We're going to discuss that as well as the Canary Capital Spot XRP ETF. Additionally, we're going to speak about the SBI Holdings teaming up with Evernorth XRP. What are they doing together? And then we're going to talk about Paul Atkins, something he said about Project Crypto that is going to change the crypto market forever. Don't go anywhere. This is going to have a major impact on your investments. You want to stay educated. You want to be aware. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Okay, so we have a lot of news stories hitting the market that is so positive for the crypto community. But before we dive into the Canary Capital, SBI Holdings, Evernorth, and Paul Atkins, I want to address the price point matching the headlines. I think if you've been here for a while, you watch my videos for a while, you have a better understanding of how I view the market personally. When I see news stories come out, I understand that that's not going to shock the market. It's not going to send the price sky high. Typically, good news does the opposite. Good news typically tanks the market. And the reasoning for that, in my eyes, is that when that happens, you have the whales shaking out soft hands. People that are holding XRP or whatever asset, they see the market start to flood. They're not really well educated on the market itself. Not saying they're not educated people, just on the market itself, okay? When a whale sees this, they know those are loose, easy hands to grab that bag. So they'll tank the market, shake everybody out, they'll keep it down for about a week, and then they'll start pumping money back into the market again. And then you'll see that FOMO hitting back in, and everybody rushes back in, and now these whales just made millions of dollars. So this is one of those situations we're seeing. We're hearing positive news coming from Canary Capital about the Spot XRP ETF, but yet we are seeing the reverse of what we thought we were going to see, which was a spike. We're seeing a dump of the market now. But that also is interesting because the White House just announced that we are officially reopened as the government. We also have U.S. Treasuries working with IRS approving digital asset staking and ETPs. And we have the Clarity Act moving forward through the House going to the Senate. These are all great news stories that we should see major spikes, but we're not. And that's the reason behind it, is because they are going to shake out weak hands. Whatever other reasons you want to add to it are probably true too, but the underlying message is shaking out weak hands. So let's go ahead and get to the news stories when we're here about the Canary Capital XRP Spot ETF. This is going to be from Coinpedia. They launched this on November 13th, 2025. The headline reads, XRP ETF launch live updates, $26 million in the first 30 minutes. XRPC to beat Solana's record. It says XRP ETF smashes records. Expert says BlackRock could be next. Canary Capital Spot XRP ETF XRPC hit over $25 million in trading volume within just 30 minutes of launch, marking one of the strongest debuts in the crypto ETF market. And this was no secret for anybody that's been in the market for a while. If you're a big XRP fan, you are aware that when this XRP ETF, spot ETFs hit the market, we are going to see a massive amount of money just flood into the market when it comes to XRP. We are seeing that already from Canary Capital with their spot ETF. Well, that was just the first launch of it, was $26 million in 30 minutes. So at the time that I recorded this video, it's getting closer towards the end of the day. It's getting towards the end of close for the market. So we have this here from James Seyfarth. He has given us an update as to where we are with the Canary Capital Spot XRP ETF. It says, okay, 2.5 hours left in the trading day, and Canary Capital's funds, XRPC, is already over $46 million in one-day trading. This is almost guaranteed to be near the top of the list for 2025 launches and still has a long shot, or has a shot to beat BSOL from the top spot. So XRP ETF out of Canary Capital has already sold $46 million in the first day, and we still have 2 hours of the day remaining to add to the market. When we hear about $46 million, that is roughly equating to 18,400,000 XRP at today's price. So think about 18,400,000 XRP off the market in one day. Now let's keep reading and let's move into the SBI Holdings and Evernorth XRP. So let's dive into this story. This is massive because we just now witnessed 18 million XRP being removed from the market in one day, and we're just getting started with this spot ETF. Now let's move into the SBI Holdings and Evernorth and what's going on with them. Are we going to see the same trend, which I think we will? So from right here, you'll see that says SBI to invest 30 billion yen in U.S. cryptocurrency investment firm Evernorth using Ripple. Keyword, using Ripple. SBI will invest $200 million, approximately 30 billion yen, in Evernorth Holdings, a U.S. company that invests and manages the cryptocurrency Ripple XRP. The investment will give the company approximately 20% of its shares. Evernorth plans to list on the NASDAQ. It also offers a lending service whereby it lends its XRP holdings to institutional investors and receives fees. Financial institutions face the difficulty of directly holding virtual currencies due to regulations and the risk of price fluctuations listed virtual currencies. So SBI Holdings out of Japan, one of the largest banks in Japan, if not the largest bank in Japan, is investing in Ripple via Evernorth XRP, and they're dumping about $200 million into Evernorth XRP. When we break that down, that equates to about 77,922,000 XRP coming from SBI Holdings in one day. Let me say that again. 77,922,000 XRP potentially gobbled up in one day as well if they were to dump that 200 billion into Evernorth in one day, okay? But also, when you add that up from the $18 million we spoke about Canary Capital, that comes to 96,322,000 XRP being removed in one day. Really understand how many units of XRP can be removed in the day in just one day. We now saw that it's possible that 96 million could be removed from the market in one day. Now let's think about it when we see BlackRock, Vanguard, Franklin Templeton, all these other major banks holding spot XRP ETFs as well. Could we see a supply shock? I mean, the numbers do add up to where we can see massive amount of tokens being removed in one day. Now let's multiply that by a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, going into a month, 2 months. What are we going to see once this happens? That's the question you need to ask. Do you have enough XRP right now? It's only at $2 and whatever it is, $2.40 or so. But once we start seeing this inflow of money, we go into 2026, I don't think you're going to be able to see a $2 and whatever XRP going forward. I think we're going to start seeing more $30 XRP, $20 XRP beyond average going into 2026. And that's just my personal opinion, but if that is the case, would you not buy up more XRP now, right? I mean, I know I am. I'm buying the lows every time I get a chance. So let's go into the news story from Paul Atkins of the SEC. This is going to be from TradingView. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So it says, Ripple's regulatory breakthrough. Project Crypto could put XRP under CFTC control. Philadelphia Fed FinTech Conference, SEC Chairman Paul Atkins unveiled Project Crypto, a bold regulatory initiative that could transfer significant oversight power from the Securities Exchange and Commission, SEC, to the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC. The revelation, first shared by crypto analyst Diana, has sparked widespread discussion across the digital asset community, especially among XRP supporters who view this as potential game changer for Ripple and its long-standing regulatory challenges. So let's break that down right quick. Just the SEC transferring the spot digital assets over to the CFTC provides the clarity that those are commodities, not securities alone. Now we're seeing that XRP has also been labeled as a commodity as we're seeing spot XRP ETFs hit. Do you see how this price action can change really quick? How the $2 can go to $30 pretty quick, even without the proper TA side of it, because I don't think the TA is going to apply to XRP like it would any other security because it's not a security. See how that works? Let's keep on rolling. Let's see what else he had to say. He said, Chairman Atkins acknowledged that the SEC's jurisdiction has limits, emphasizing that not all digital assets should be classified as securities. He stated, once a network stands on its own, it's no longer a security, singling a sharp departure from the SEC's previous stance under the Howey test, which historically categorized most tokens as securities. This reevaluation opens the door for the balanced regulatory framework, allowing the CFTC, which currently oversees commodities like gold and oil, to take charge of cryptocurrencies that operate as decentralized network rather than traditional investment contracts. And again, I'm not going to jump too much into it, but CFTC overseeing XRP is huge. We no longer have those dirty ties to SEC like we had before and how they suppressed the price of XRP. So what does this mean for XRP and Ripple? Let's keep reading. It says, if implemented, Project Crypto could finally remove the lingering regulatory uncertainty around XRP. For years, the SEC has argued that Ripple's XRP token was sold as an unregistered security. Under this proposed framework, XRP could fall under CFTC oversight, officially classifying it as a commodity rather than a security. Such a designation would not only provide long-awaited regulatory clarity for Ripple, but also encourage institutional adoption and open new market opportunities for XRP with broader financial ecosystem. So essentially, as we wrap all this together, let's walk through it. Let's think about the XRP spot ETF, Canary Capital, $46 million in one day. SBI Holdings announcing they are thinking about or going to dump $200 million into Evernorth XRP. And then at the same time, we have now the SEC saying that we are going to move the XRP commodity over to CFTC. We're washing our hands from it. And the CFTC oversees things like gold and oil, which are priced in supply and demand. So could XRP be priced in supply and demand? That will change the price of XRP going forward forever. Now, it hasn't officially happened yet, but I think as we start seeing the Clarity Act move forward, as we start seeing the CFTC officially becoming the oversight of XRP, as we start hearing new announcements of spot XRP ETFs hit the market, I think around this time is when you're really going to start seeing Ripple getting their bank license, getting their Fed master account. All these pieces of the puzzle are falling in line at a perfect time. You could not orchestrate this better in my mind. Hopefully you got something from this video. Hopefully you understand how big XRP really is. I'm trying to make sure people understand what you hold when you look at something like an XRP. They are going to revolutionize the payment system going forward. There's a lot of FUD. There's a lot of doubt out there. There's a lot of people trying to shake people out. But stay educated, stay informed, and do your own research. Make sure you don't miss a beat because this is going to happen quick. And when it's over, it's over. You will not have another opportunity again. All right. As always, take care of yourself. Take care of the people around you. And become the change you want to see in the world. I'll see you in the next one.